Hey guys, hopefully you can hear me. My name's Hannah Fisher, and I am the president of Hoosier Animal Law Officers. And so, first off, I'd just like to say thank you to Sherry Storms and her team for inviting Halo once again to come out and talk about some statewide initiatives, talk about our organization, and give you some updates on things that are going on. I'm really bummed out, I'm sure as many as you are, that this isn't an in-person event, but I look forward to next year's. And on the bright side, maybe next year we'll have even more opportunity to win door prizes because I'll have to save them from this year. So just going to go over some updates from Halo, what we are, what we've been doing, what we hope to do. So let's dive into this. So last year when we presented at the conference, we first introduced Halo. So Halo is Hoosier Animal Law Officers, and we are the state's professional organization for animal care and control professionals. So this is animal control officers, humane law enforcement officers, animal cruelty investigators, the field services individuals, and then also the humane societies, the rescues, the fosters, the people who are caring for animals that we bring in. And so one of the things we touched on last year was in Indiana, in this profession, what we should have is resources, networking, training, and structure. And unfortunately, Indiana doesn't have much of that for the animal care and control professionals within the state. And so Halo is trying to change that. So different from last year, this slide last year had everything crossed off. We still didn't have resources or networking or training or any structure. We've made some tremendous progress throughout the state. So as far as networking, we have a huge network base now as far as animal control and animal care professionals across the state. We also have a lot of information related to the Board of Animal Health, some of the other agencies that we can work with, ASPCA, HSUS, those kind of organizations, and just establishing a database of who's out there to help us do our jobs to the best of our ability. We also have some resources out there and some training opportunities, and we're going to dive into all of this just a little bit more. Unfortunately, we still are somewhat lacking structure within the state. There's no set way of how we do this job. There's no policies in place. There's no requirements at the state level for what we can do and how we can do this. But I will give you a little heads up that that's probably coming down the road sometime in the next few years. We are working on that. There's a lot of individuals working on that, just not quite in a position to let you know exactly what's going on. But remain hopeful, keep fighting the good fight, and one day we will get there. So some of the resources that Halo is creating includes an Indiana State Animal Laws and Regulations handout. So it's not really a handout, it's more of a book. It's going to be a resource that includes all of the different animal laws throughout the state. So the one we work with the most as animal care and control is 3546.3, which covers a lot of the cruelty, the abuse, bestiality, fighting, those kind of laws. But scattered within the laws throughout other places include things related to livestock, purchasing animals, boarding animals, vaccinating animals, all these random laws that are scattered about. And so what we're trying to do is bring them all together, put them in one place, and have a guide for professionals within the field to look at. So the way it's going to be set up, and we have a rough draft out, is there will be a table of contents explaining how it's set up. Things will be divided into categories. So again, things related to stray animals, things related to cruelty, related to vaccination, transport, whatever the case may be. It'll include the statute number, the actual wording of the statute, and then within the form, which will be free, the free resource, it'll be searchable. So if you have something weird, like you have a question about cows, you could search cows, and everything that has cow in the title or cow in the statute would pop up. Or if you had a question about rabies, you could type in rabies, and everything related to rabies would pop up. So we're trying to make this as comprehensive as possible and get this information out there. So I expect that by the end of the summer to be released. Like I said, we have a draft version out. It's just a matter of going through and fine-tuning it, making sure it's separated appropriately, the categories are good to go, and then we'll roll that out. Another resource that we're working on is a master list of all these agencies and people out there doing the job. So we have a form going now. It's an Excel spreadsheet. Again, it'll be a searchable form, and it's broke down by county, and then under each county, it will list the animal control and animal care facilities or agencies. It'll have clickable links to the phone numbers, to the websites, and to the main email address. And then it'll also have not only the physical address of the facility, but also a mailing address. So we actually got a lot of information from Sherry and the SNSI team for rescues that they've worked with. She sent over some lists. We have some lists coming in from some other places, and then just research to get this put together. So again, this will be another free resource to roll out here in the next little bit. So again, with the networking, like I said, we know all the people out there. We know a lot of the people out there now. And the group within Halo for the members only Facebook page has been awesome. People can post questions on there, have conversations, brainstorm, share war stories, share funny stories, whatever the case may be. We also have had a lot of people communicating via Facebook Messenger if they have questions or if someone down south needs help from up north. We had one coffee with your colleagues event up north, had a good turnout, had some great conversation. Unfortunately, with the COVID situation, we did have to cancel our central one, but we're going to be postponing that and having it eventually. And then we'll have one down south also. And then one of the things, I was talking about this the other day on a podcast I did, and just the ability to meet somebody in this field one time, whether it was at last year's conference, whether it was in passing at a gas station, at an adoption event, whatever the case may be, those relationships are so tremendous throughout the state. And to meet somebody one time and then be able to call them 6, 8, 10 months down the road and them being more than willing to pick up the phone and help you out, I see that every day. We want to help each other. We want to answer each other's questions. We want to brainstorm with one another. So those people that you may have only met one time in passing, reach out to them if you have a question. That's what they're there for. That's what we're here for. It's a team effort. So Halo has had several training events already, and we have several planned, assuming that the world opens up again in the near future. We've had some in-person classes. We've had some webinars that we're going to roll out one every month. Those are on the YouTube page. And then here's a list of classes that we're going to have coming up for the year. So we're going to have animal first aid and CPR and animal health technician courses. Those are being put on by the Texas Humane Educators, but a lot of that is not specific to the state. It's specific to the types of animals. So we're bringing them up to host these classes. We're going to have a class on animal bite investigations and rabies exposure and control, a class that is about humane animal trapping in the sense that maybe you have a dog that's been running loose for a week and you don't have the ability to trank it, or you don't have the equipment to trank it, or you don't think that's appropriate, and you've tried a live trap and it hasn't worked, and you've tried everything you can think of and it hasn't worked. So this class is not going to be for trapping in the sense of the easy dogs that you can just walk up to and slip a leash on. This class is going to be more the animals that have been running for a long time. You need to get them trapped. You need to get them contained. How can you humanely do that? We're also going to have a class on dog breed identification. So as I'm sure many of you in the shelter setting know, identifying a dog as close to possible as the breed it actually is can help get that dog back to its family that's looking for it. Not just that, but building criminal reports. You want to make sure that you're not labeling a Chihuahua as a poodle, and you're not mislabeling a Rottweiler as a miniature dachshund or something to that extent. So learning the dog breeds, becoming more familiar with them as far as identification, but then also learning some of the personalities and the characteristics that go along with the breeds to better give you the ability to better interact with them in your job. We also will be rolling out a service and support animals webinar. That was going to be another live event, but with COVID, it did get canceled. And that's going to talk a lot about what the laws are, what a service animal is, what a support animal is, what scams are out there, what cons are out there, and what you need to know at your day-to-day job as far as dealing with these situations. So we have several trainings planned. We're going to continue scheduling things. We have one in the works for chemical capture. Our Vice President, Doug Sanford, actually just sent the draft of that PowerPoint over, so that'll be a good one to bring into Indiana. And we're continuing to look at other ideas. Like I said, we also do webinars once a month. We post those on YouTube, and we're always trying to get new ideas and put topics out there that you guys feel like are good for you. So if you have a training idea, or if there's something that you want experience in or need resources for, don't hesitate to reach out to us. Our Facebook and website will be on the last slide. You can send me a message on Facebook. You can send our Halo page a message on Facebook, or you can just reach out to any of us directly with your ideas and questions. So as we continue to grow as an organization, one of the things we want to do is see the member numbers increase. I am actually serving on a subcommittee for the National Animal Care and Control Association for member retention. And one of the things that always comes up in conversation is the notion to be part of something bigger than yourself. And that's exactly what Halo is. Our member base is relatively good right now, but we want to see it grow. We want to have more numbers. Our membership fees are very, very low. This year it's, I believe, $15 and $25 for associate members and for members. And the bigger we get, the more people we have on board, the bigger impact we can have with being one voice for issues that affect us in the field. So if you are an animal control officer, a cruelty investigator, a rescue or shelter personnel, basically anybody that on a regular basis deals with the animal care and control field, get on our website, check out the application to be a member, check out our bylaws for the qualifications, and I encourage you to get that membership application into us. So as we continue, we want to get some structure within the state. We want to have requirements for the professionals doing these jobs. We don't want people to just be able to raise their hand and say, I like animals, I want to go save them. That's great, but we need to have structure. We need to have training. We need to have expectations for these professionals. So we're going to continue to work towards those state requirements within the state. Once we get to that point, we want HALO to be the recognized organization for the training. So not only do we want to say the requirements are going to be A, B, and C, and X, Y, and Z, we want HALO to be the people, the entity that can put those trainings on and fulfill those training requirements. So this year we are again having a training and resource conference. It will be on September 26th in Indianapolis. It is at 96 and Meridian, so it's the very northern end of Indianapolis, but very easy to get to. It's at a Drury Inn Hotel and Conference Center right off of 465. For the night before, there's a group rate hotel discount for $119 plus tax, which is relatively low for hotels in the area. The Drury Inn's only been there a couple of years, so it's a very nice hotel. And at the event, which we will be rolling in the agenda out soon, we will have training, prizes, vendors, food, of course, networking, war store sharing, brainstorming, powwowing, resources and information to help everybody out there. So like our Facebook page, follow the updates for that. We also put information on the website updating this, and if you have any questions, don't hesitate to contact us. But we really hope we can see as many of you there as possible, especially since we didn't get to have this in-person event for the Animal Care Expo. Hopefully we can have this and get everybody together once the world is open again. So those are just a few quick updates as far as things that are going across the state. Like I said, we've made a lot of progress this past couple of years, and especially this past year. And this coming up year, we're going to have even more rolling out. We're going to get more information out there. We're going to get more resources, more training. So be sure to continue to follow our story and follow our information on Facebook. We have a public Facebook page at HoosierAnimalLawOfficers.org. Or sorry, the Facebook page is at Hoosier Animal Law Officers. Our website is HoosierAnimalLawOfficers.org. And then if you join as an active member and get approved to be a member, you can then join that Facebook group. One of the things that we promise our members is that the people in that group truly are members. We all know that we're part of Facebook groups where people are supposedly screened and say they are who they are, but on our HALO Facebook group, they undoubtedly are who they say they are. They are a part of HALO. They are a professional in the animal care and control field. So we have some really good conversation. So get your phones out, like us. If you have questions, we're going to do Q&A next, and hopefully I'll see and talk to several of you soon. Stay safe.